What were you going to say, Jack, to Ivan before I hijacked your comment? Sorry. Oh, you forgot.
No, because obviously I think we're talking about the fact that the L-foot always came with the rubber washer sort of prefixed onto it, so it was always like a non-issue. The issue was that originally it was when Sunlock they had the clamps, so the 700, 406 and 305 clamps. They came with the rubber washer in the bag. And then there were situations where the installer didn't have any rubber washers. So they weren't sure if they should install the clamp without. And then some installers thought one of the primary purposes of the rubber washer was to pad out the clamp, so it could fit the crest.
I've had guys ask me if it works without the rubber. Can I take the rubber out?
Yeah, so and then but then you guys released the universal clamp, and it doesn't come with the rubber washer.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get a lot of questions about that and its use, or not?
It hasn't, like, surprisingly, no, from my end. I'm not sure about you, Ivan, but there hasn't been a lot of.
From my side, there's been a few. They've been asking, is it okay? What's the deal? What's the rubber?
Okay.
I've had some that actually. Was that, Jack?
Yeah, but then you don't just refer them to this like massive table. Different materials. Do you just say no? It's okay.
No, I try to explain to it. Look, it's okay.
Yeah.
These are the reasons, just in a nutshell, why we've done it. The easiest way to get them to agree or to instill confidence is that I'll refer that Lyosat table, which is pretty. I think that's pretty, black and white.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to. I guess the point of this is to try to make it black and white, because even smarter people than me are still a bit unaware what can and cannot be done.
It really only comes up when we're talking about like concealed fixings and the use of clamps, obviously without the rubber washer. I think that's when this topic really comes, to life, especially on social media, not so much with, regular L feed. It's already there kind of thing.
But most other framing manufacturers have the rubbers on the L feed as well. Like everyone's pretty consistent like that. Yeah. But what are other roof clamps? Like other roof clamps for other manufacturers? Do they have the rubber pads? Are you aware? Or?
It's in the concealed roof clamps.
Yeah, do they all have the washers on them? The rubber washers?
I know in our Asian markets, a lot of them don't. I don't know if you noticed that, Sean. A lot of our Asian Japanese friends don't use the rubber.
Not using a lot of rubber in Asia.
Yeah.
We're trying to keep this serious.
Yeah, in their clamps. I opened the door for you. I thought you wanted to take that to another level.
No talk of doors. Don't talk about rubbers. Don't talk about doors.
Not even one. So, you gotta have at least one shop.
I mean, when we went to release this, because it's not a small thing to get the rubber onto that product.
No, it's not.
And we played around with that for a while, and finally, while we were still in the development phase, I just thought, I'm just going to ask the question. I'll talk to a lot of the guys out in the field that are doing a lot of the large scale commercial projects, and I'll just ask the question. I said, what are some of the other manufacturers doing when you're using their products in certain cases? We all know who they are, and they said, look, a lot of times they don't provide them with the rubber at all. And I said, so if Clenergy released something, would you feel comfortable using it? And then they obviously wanted a bit more information, and I explained basically what we're going through now. And they said, well, yeah, we've done in the past already, so there's no reason we wouldn't do it in the future. So from our perspective, we wanted to just get the product out there because we'd done so much testing on it, and there was still so many questions coming through from guys just needing solutions. And at the same time, it helped us to really confirm what we needed to know about the subject, and then here we are today, just wanting to clarify that. So I think to answer your question, I think there are other manufacturers in Australia that supply these solutions without rubber.
I don't think that's a good answer. I don't think S5 supply a rubber.
Well, that was one of the ones I asked about. Schletter was another one, I think. And so, yeah, that was pretty much along the lines of the response that I got from the guys that had used those products.
Because historically, clamps are relatively, new in the solar industry. They weren't, there from the get-go. While I started in 2009, and there was, no clamps really being used, and that was back when, using Conergy. And the early method up until like 2011, 2012 was just, drilling straight through the pan of, the sheet with the L-foot, which obviously has, disastrous consequences, for water pooling as well. So, and then the clamps came out, and then no one knew what they were doing. So it's come a long way, especially now with that universal clamp and doing away with the rubber on it. Because, a lot of installers don't even, check what kind of roof sheet. They probably wouldn't pull up the sheet to check what sheet it is. They just sort of see if the clamp fits. And if it fits, sort of off they go kind of thing.
Definitely.
That's why,